Yo guys, Haku here with my review of One Piece Chapter 816, and it was titled Dog vs. Cat. And before I get started, real quick, just want to say that sorry if you can tell it in this video, but I'm feeling really sick, but I'm going to push myself through recording at least 2 videos today. So if anything gets pushed back or if I cancel a video, it's either because I'm not feeling well or because there's a snowstorm outside right now. So I don't think that would affect anything, but just in case there's an emergency like a power outage, I may not have videos up for a few days or something, but I'll try to somehow get the news out on Twitter or something if I can't post a video. Just throwing that out real quick before I start, and now it's time to start. So first, getting into the chapter, it was a very surprising chapter. Very shocking. I was not expecting whatsoever what we got. Like, of all the millions of guesses I could have made at where this was going, just countless theories, this wouldn't have been one of them. I really, genuinely didn't see this coming. Now, before I bring up anything else and my thoughts on it and whatnot, I just want to say that now Zoe, the big old elephant, has an ass tattoo of a tiger and a dragon because Ryunosuke and Torasaburo are just drawings again on the ass of Zoe. So yeah, we get the Straw Hats waking up and noticing that, oh crap, we fell asleep, the samurai are here, and the warning bell's going off, but they're like remember at the very beginning they said the warning bell and welcoming bell sound like oddly similar, so it's a bit hard to tell them apart now and again. So the samurai walking in are like, is this the welcoming bell, or is are the stories recent or old stories about the minks being bad human-hating people? So it was interesting to see that sort of connection. And those of you who have read the chapter, which I'm assuming are all of you if you're watching this, know why that's so important and why it's such mind-blowing writing, really. It's such good writing that no one saw coming, and that made it even better writing. So the bell has both the night forces, army, whatever, and the day forces both running towards the square, I guess, town square where it's coming from, because they're like, oh, it's Beriete's bell. They start running for it, take the whole army. And we have the Straw Hats also heading there because they're like, okay, the minks were just injured, but now they're all running full force to this to the bell. So meeting back up with Kinemon and Kanjiro, where Momonosuke was just like walking around in the woods, and I doubt we're gonna get any more explanation on why he was just walking around out there, but that was just an odd way to bring Momonosuke back for me. Like, I don't know. It's not that, because I'm sure if we do get something, it'll be like really cool and explain it really well. So I'm gonna reserve my critique of it until like we see more, because it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of like weird that he was out there so chill. Now, really cool thing when the minks get to town square that I really enjoyed was when Pedro, he looks so freaking cool, jumps up onto that tower. And I like the sort of uniform that Nekomamushi's night forces wear, where they have the sort of like, to me it looks like a bush explorer type uniform, and I really like that. And again, getting into wild crazy theories, if Pedro joins, and it just makes him really unique looking, and I like the design. I like it a lot. So Master Nekomamushi and Inoarashi see each other, Duke Inoarashi. Well, they see each other, so immediately they go in, start first insult each other about the lost limbs and stuff, just dig at each other, and then go in with the Master Nekomamushi spear, staff, whatever, and Duke Inoarashi's sword. And they had a really cool looking fight. Looked like maybe there was some sort of hockey involved, which makes it even cooler. And especially since they're so powerful, I mean, they're the leaders of Zoe, and they sailed at one point in the New World. I'm assuming that they do have hockey of some kind. While this is going on, or back while they were arguing, actually, the Straw Hats just dove in, tackled the samurai behind some rubble. That was really nice looking. It was both comedic and serious, and it was good writing. Again, just it was a good way to do what Oda was doing with the story. It worked very well. So when they're arguing right before they go in for the attack, we have the flashbacks to how Inuarashi lost his leg, which was Jack was interrogating him. He's like, so will you lose your leg or will you tell us where Raizo is? And he's like, well, I guess I can't get too attached to this leg. So being a complete badass, and way even more badass in my eyes, was Nekomamushi about to rip the chains, tear himself like off of the crucifix. So Jack's like, cut his arm off to keep him from breaking off the crucifix. And Nekomamushi's like, yeah, just come at it. If you gotta point spears at somebody, point them at me. So during the epic clash between Dog and Cat, a part that I really thought looked very nice and was kind of overshadowed by a later part, but I still think it looked really nice. And to me, I think it's gonna, if they do it, if they have the right emotional touches in the anime, it's going to be very good in the anime. And that's when Kinemon yells stop, and he's like standing up to Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, and they have just the dark, angry look in their eyes. That was very nice looking, and it was overshadowed by what I think is going to become a pretty recognizable and iconic moment later on, but it itself was very good looking to me. Really enjoyed it. So we find out that Kinemon is a retainer of the Kogetsu family, and I think that I'm going to do a theory on the Kogetsu family on Sunday, I hope. But yeah, again, like I said earlier before I started talking, that may or may not happen. But I want to do a theory on the Kogetsu family, if I can, Sunday. And into what a retainer is. A retainer for a family, like back in feudal times, was sort of like, a lot of you have probably played Skyrim, like a Thane from Skyrim, or I guess just like a samurai that works for their feudal lord would be a good way to put it. So say the Kogetsu is a royal feudal lord, that is the feudal lord that Kinemon as a samurai serves. So into the just twist that none of us saw coming, Raizo Dono is safe, and Inuarashi and Nekomamushi kneel down to Kinemon and Kanjuro as well. And that the panel looked so amazing, it was very shocking, and I think it's going to be even better in the anime. Hopefully, I really hope they do it right, because if they do it right, then it's going to be a very iconic moment in One Piece. Going to be very badass, because these are characters that haven't been around that long yet, but already, like, Zou has so much hype. This entire arc, everyone that I've seen review it, everyone I've seen doing reactions, talking in forums, they all love Zou and the characters we've seen so far. Like, Jack is one of the most interesting, one of the most dark and interesting characters that I think we've seen in a long time. And the mystery behind him is really cool. Everyone loves Nekomamushi. There's talk of him everywhere. All of the Carrot, Wanda, or Pedro for Straw Hat talk. People, I haven't seen as many people liking Inuarashi, but a lot of people do like him. So it's just a very hype arc so far, and it keeps rolling so very strong. So of course, in an emotional note, and again, if they do the emotions for this right in the anime, it's going to be so good, where Usopp and Nami are crying like, your entire nation could have been wiped out. You could have died. You lost limbs. And it was to keep this secret. And then Inuarashi smiles and Nekomamushi smiles, and he puts his hand on Usopp's head, and he's like, even if we and our whole country were to die, we could never rat out our friend to the enemy. That's something that I think is going to be big. This is going to be, I hate saying it's going to be as big as the Sanji stuff, because we've known Sanji for over 15 years and just now found out his family name. So that's bigger in the grand scope of things, but this was also very big and a great revelation. I also like during that moment, all the minks, we get little flashes to different panels of all the named minks we know so far. Dr. Miyagi and Tristan, the Three Musketeers, Pedro, Wanda, Carrot, the Old Man Monkey. I think Beriete was in there. So we get like just, and Blackback and what's his name, Rhodey, and we just see the panels of them smiling, and that was a really great touch too. There were a lot of big things that were great, but there were a lot of small touches that were very well done as well. So I've got to say that this chapter in particular makes an already great and enjoyable arc brilliant. Just brilliant writing. Like, I don't want to just sit and praise Oda, but that writing was so genius. Everybody thought one thing. He had the audience's minds like in the thinking inside the box, and then he just revealed that everything we had seen so far was still true, but it took a different connotation. Beriete wasn't crying because he was scared. He was crying because the Kogetsu's samurai have arrived. They were really hiding Raizo, and that's why they said what they did. Not that they hated samurai. It was just so genius. It was so well woven, and I applaud it because it changes everything that we've read, and what we read was good, and this makes it even better. So I've got to say for this one, the art was amazing. The art was really on point. There were a lot of very nice looking panels. You could tell Oda worked a lot on this, but it was a bit short. It was a bit short, but it was really great, and I love the reveal. I think overall that I'm going to give it 9 missing limbs out of 10 because it was great. I don't want to quite give it a 10 out of 10 though, because even though it's completely great, it's not like something that alters the whole scape of the universe, like knowing Sanji's name or anything like that. So while it's very important, its importance is smaller than it could be. I hope you guys understand the justification I'm trying to make there. So there's no chapter next week, but I'm okay with that. Oda hasn't taken a break in a while, and I like that normally when we do have a break in One Piece, the chapter when we come back is usually pretty meaty. There's a lot of meaty, but it generally has a lot of content, and it's usually a very big chapter. Like, it has a lot going on. So I think maybe we'll come back. We may get a Raizo reveal, or Jack or somebody may return to Zou, or another one of Kaido's associates, like even Diaz Drake. So a lot of things that could happen that are very exciting in the next chapter. Lots of possibilities Oda set himself up for. So like I said, I think this Sunday I'm going to have a video on the Kogetsu, and next Thursday and Friday, in place of my normal live reaction and review, since there's going to be no chapter, I'm thinking on Thursday I think Thursday that I'm going to be doing a discussion on where I think the story may go from here, just to have something for you guys, and then Friday I'll have another theory. I think this one will probably be a theory on Zou itself, but I'm going to do a bit more studying for that and try to come up with something. Not something that I've seen a bunch of other people do, even if it's not something that's likely to be right, even if it's a bit out of the box. I want to do something a bit original. I like making sort of the wild original guesses because it's more interesting if they turn out to be true, and I don't want to just regurgitate things that other YouTubers have said to you guys or things that I've read elsewhere. So yeah, sorry if I got a little off track, but I wanted to just explain what I would be doing since there's going to be no One Piece next week. But I thank you guys so very much for watching. Like if you liked the video, put your thoughts down in the comments. I'm very curious as to what you have to say about this chapter, because it was a very nice chapter. Sorry, this isn't out till Friday. I mean, Friday's the normally scheduled day for my review, but given that the chapter came out on Wednesday, it's a little bit of a 2-day disconnect there. Subscribe if you want more One Piece. I'm still going to be doing the anime, going to be rolling through plenty of the manga with theories and live reactions and reviews, some discussions here and there. If you like Tower of God and The Walking Dead, I do those as well. Do 1 to 2 anime reviews a week, depending on how things are going. So I think that's about it. Follow on Twitter for updates on how the channel's doing, and in case anything comes up and I can't post a video, I will post it there to let you guys know. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.